All right, the next document here is the proposal template. So this is what we send over. Really high converting, worked really well for us. So the proposal template is what you're going to send over to the client and say, hey, I was listening to you during the sales process. This is what I'm thinking is going to solve your problems and get you towards your goals. So here's how we have it broken up. Why you're here. I'm just going to emphasize why they've contacted you, what the pain point is of why and what their business objectives are. Why are they currently talking to you? And you want to re-emphasize why they're having this dialogue with you, why they're having this conversation. You want to make sure they're staying focused on, okay, I got this agency, all these other agencies contacting me. Why was I talking to these guys? And you can demonstrate how well you're paying attention and listening to their actual pain. You weren't just saying, oh, well, we need to do this SEO campaign and we're going to rank you number one on Google. That's great. Some clients are going to jump all over that. But at the same time, you want to show that you're not just focusing on keywords, you're also focusing on their business goals and what is actually valuable to them as a business, where you want to be, helping them paint the picture of what it'll look like if this problem is solved. So if you got a startup, you say, okay, you guys are looking to have 2,000 users by the end of 6 months or whatever. Showing that you are paying attention to that and that showing that you were listening, you're asking good questions, you understand what their goals are, and that you are aligned with them. You're on the same side of the table as them. It's not something confrontational, but you're on the same side of the table with them. You are bought into the vision that they want to have in their life, and you're showing that, hey, I completely understand where you're coming from, and here's how I think we should approach this problem and solve it for you. So this next page, what we want to do. So I would put in here initiative, explanation of why I select this initiative. So say someone wants to sell more on e-commerce or something like that, they're not making as much money as they want to. I would put in here, I want to have an automated email marketing campaign initiative, and they say, okay, well, I think email is dead. But you want to explain why you've selected this initiative to help them reach their goals. You want to show that you've been thinking strategically about what they're trying to achieve, and you bringing your expertise to the table to show this is how I can solve this problem for you. I want to show the solution. I have thought of a solution for your pain point. Next, what we'll be preparing for. So this is another thing. A lot of agencies promise the moon, and most agencies can never deliver that. So one thing that's going to help you stand apart has been really useful is overcoming objections and building in objections actually into the proposal. So in their head, they're going to have a list of reasons. I remember when I was starting out, I was like, well, I'm a newer agency. I think they're aware of that. One of my early clients. So what can I do to demonstrate that I understand that, I'm aware of that, and that could be used against me, but how can I spin that into a positive? Or how can I spin that I will be doing my best to make that happen regardless of the size of the business or something like that? Oh, I'm working with strategic partners instead, and these are how good my partners are. So you want to say, here's the problem. Maybe I don't know much about the niche. I don't have a background. I'm competing against an agency that has a background in the niche. Here's the deal. Don't know much about the niche, but here's what I'm going to do to overcome that barrier. And here's why you should still be considering me. You don't want to be putting it in those phrases, obviously, but saying if you want to explain how you would overcome these certain problems, if there's a technical problem or an industry problem, something like that, how you would personally overcome those problems, and so that you're kind of overcoming those objections that they may have. And most of them, they want maybe not even verbalize towards you, but you need to be putting yourself in the client's shoes thinking, why would they tell me no? And thinking of, okay, how can I overcome those objections? Without directly saying, I'm overcoming this objection, this objection, this objection, but saying, here's how we're preparing to overcome these potential issues in the future. It does a lot to really build that trust and say, okay, I trust these guys because they're thinking ahead, they're aware of any shortcomings and things like that, and they've already thought of a solution to overcome those shortcomings to still get me towards my goals. This next section, why you're agents for the project. You want to emphasize why the heck they're talking to you. If you don't know anything about what you're doing, your agency's terrible, all these things, you want to demonstrate there's a reason they're talking to you, and that, you know what, I am a good agency, I am a good marketer, I have gotten results in the past, and why you're a good fit for that project. So you want to make sure that this is also in there. You want to make sure that you're just saying, well, I watched an online course one time, and this is why I'm the best person for the agency business. Especially after overcoming objections, you want to re-emphasize and build that trust. Okay, these guys do know what they're talking about. They've already talked about potential shortcomings, but this is a way for them to differentiate yourself from competing agencies. And then how can I do this for you? Skipped around. How can I do this for you? This is where you kind of want to list out the different packages that you're going to come up with to solve their problem and get them towards their business goals. So we generally recommend at least 2. I did 3 a lot of the time. With 3 different solutions, you can kind of like a basic, pro, and a premium version. So each one is going to be driving towards the same goal, but at a different price point. So you're kind of forcing your client or this prospect to pick a price that works for them. And you're going to list out what is included in each of those prices too. You want to make sure you're building up a ton of value for those upper 2 because you're going to get paid more. And you will be amazed at the number of individuals that will pick a higher up package when presented with multiple solutions, rather than just coming towards the table and saying, okay, I'll do all of this for a $1,000 retainer, but I also have this option that's $3,000, and I have this best option that's $5,000. We have a lot of people that come in and say, well, I'm going to go for the $3,000 option. I get so much more. It's going to get me towards my goal faster. I don't want the $5,000, but $3,000 is definitely doable. And you're going to start being able to close those the bigger deals naturally because you're already showing the value of what they would get by signing up for that. You're not losing money, losing money on the table where you're like, well, I signed up this guy for $1,000, but if I just offer these couple other services are highly valued, I can still deliver pretty easily. I could have tripled the amount of money I make off this guy. So you want to make sure you're thinking strategically about those packages and make sure they're all lined up with the business goals and their objectives. So next second, conclusion. Once again, restate the primary goal of working with you and how you can help them achieve their desired results. Focusing on the future, what it would look like with them, what it would look like for them working with you, and how great that world would be if they just hire your service and then you are able to implement your marketing campaign the way you want to, and you're going to show, hey, I can help you get to that desired future that you're talking about. After that, set expectations for how reportings and meetings works, and what the engagement, what requirements going to be, what requirements you have from them on their end of the bargain. So those are the steps. You have them sign on here. But this proposal, it's very simple, not super long, not very complicated, not super tactical aside from that one section, but it's very much about the sales psychology and understanding why people buy and really building that level of trust and connection with the client that's going to help you close bigger retainers more often. So hopefully this helps you guys out with your sales process.